All right, we are back with the week 7, day 1 Latin part, which is Latin America, by the way, for those of you who don't know. Arena of Valor series. So let's get my mic off and continue watching and having fun learning. Like, this is a good game, and I'm just going to continue promoting it and playing it and watching it. So here we go.
Match 2 was our premier match of the week, with the two titans of Brazil battling it out to prove who was the best in the region. Despite trading even the last time they fought, the growth of these teams was not equal. Geo Esports showed that their hyper-focus on early game control, as well as protecting their carries, was the correct strategy. Pain just looked lost. Despite getting a myriad of comfort picks, they just couldn't outfight Geo, getting behind early and never finding an opportunity to rally. Geo proved with these games that they are leagues ahead of the competition, putting their stamp firmly on the Latin American region. This was just not Synergy's weekend. Appreciating that they were outgunned, they went in to have some fun, pulling out the all-DC draft in Game 1. Nova was all business though, playing as if they just realized they left the stove on and winning both games in under 9 minutes respectively. With no hope of making it to the regional finals, Synergy aimed to entertain, and they certainly did that. Our final game of the weekend was in many ways our most important, as both of these teams came in tied for 4th. Assassin's Crew drafted aggressive in Game 1, with double Assassins determined to dive the squishy backline of NTZ. It wasn't enough though, as NTZ fought back, pushing ASC all the way to their high ground. They just couldn't close it out, however, as Assassin's Crew were able to win key late game fights and take game number 1. Game 2 saw a much more even contest as both teams played conservative, neither one wanting to give ground. It came down to a few crucial late game mistakes from ASC, which cost them dearly. Despite being behind in kills, NTZ were able to clutch it out, taking the only advantage that was offered and death pushed their way to the win. With that final series, the LATAM region remains in question, with two teams tied for that coveted 4th place spot. Only 2 more weeks of competition remain. Which one will rise to the challenge? We'll soon find out.
Falls around me.
I'll let my fist do the talking.
Welcome to the arena. Arena of Valor.
As we find ourselves now knee-deep in Week 7, it is all across the board. Excitement, adventure, but more importantly, the delight of seeing our beautiful faces. Hello and welcome back to the Valor Series brought to you by Facebook Gaming. My name is Jump. I'm joined here yet again by Mr. TJ and now Sweej. He took himself a short, quick nap because it is Latin America's turn to take the field.
I'm waiting in Week 7. We're more than knee-deep. I'm drowning in Week 7 because there are so many exciting things. We've already seen the effects of the new patch. I'm curious, we've talked a lot between the two of us about the LATAM meta. How do you feel LATAM's going to take that?
I think LATAM will catch on a little bit, but we'll see if Roxy, Ignis is going to be a huge priority. Ari is going to fall off a little bit. We already saw her starting to fall off throughout the weeks of play. And I'll be interested to see, maybe some Lubu might show up, but it'll be really fun to watch.
I actually want to see the Lubu because out of all the ones that got changed, and you think about Latin America as a region, they're probably the most aggressive. So yes, Lubu would make the most. Lubu would make the most sense. But let's actually go ahead and take a look at the Latin American standings, and talk a little bit through what we're going to be seeing today. We have ourselves with Geo Esports, Nova, Pain Gaming, Assassin's Crew, and INTZ all within striking distance of that top 4. Now, Geo Esports as well as Nova have secured themselves that spot, as well as Pain Gaming, sorry. Now it is up to Assassin's Crew and INTZ to fight for that 4th spot.
Yeah, and Assassin's Crew and INTZ, they have the most important games today. Today, actually. They need to win their games. Every single game is matter, especially the one that we're going to see against Pain Gaming. Also, Assassin's Crew is going to face Synergy, so they have an easier day today. So INTZ, a lot is on the line, literally.
If INTZ aren't able to win this match, they are out of the running for Sao Paulo. Which means that especially... yeah, and I suppose that does rely on the fact that Synergy aren't going to pick up a game versus Assassin's Crew. Given the two teams' record, I'm going to make that prediction. And Pain Gaming, I feel, isn't as strong as that matchup. I think Pain Gaming definitely is more vulnerable. Maybe INTZ can pull something out, but they have to.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at what matches we will have today. Both the teams that are vying for that 4th place spot find themselves on the battlefield with INTZ versus Pain Gaming. Following that, it will be Assassin's Crew versus Synergy. Now, just like Europe, we want to make sure that we highlight these exciting matches and the players to watch. So let's go ahead and check in with this week's regional rivals presented by AT&T.
For the Latin American region, our standing showdown is a little more cut and dry. Both of the teams vying for 4th need to win their respective matches, but they are against vastly different opponents. Assassin's Crew are facing down Synergy, who have struggled to find their synergy in the Valor series. Their lack of team play has cost them, and most would favor ASC in this match. INTZ, however, are up against Pain Gaming, a team near the top of the leaderboards who until recently looked near unbeatable. NTZ have been struggling in past weeks, but their recent performance against ASC should give them hope. Their team fighting has looked greatly improved, and if they can up their macro game, they may stand a chance. Because if they lose this series, they all but forfeit their spot at the finals. While Assassin's Crew and NTZ came into the weekend tied, there is a chance that they leave today with vastly different scores. NTZ need to win this match if they want to stay even. A tall order, but this is their moment.
You heard it from Envirum. It is nothing short of everybody needing to step up or go home in a lot of instances as we find ourselves in the first match, INTZ versus Pain Gaming. You've both alluded to it quite a bit. What can we expect to see from both of these teams? I want to focus specifically on INTZ and the strategy that they need coming into this match.
Well, for INTZ, it's going to depend. Is Kyo going to play or not? I think he should not, because they performed so well with Padera. He's the reason why they won Game 2 against Assassin's Crew last week. And they're on the up and up. Myth is a jungler on the rise here. He actually has a higher KD than White on Pain Gaming. So that's a slimmer of hope, I feel, that INTZ has a chance to beat Pain Gaming.
Something to watch, though, with both junglers is the shift this week, because it's to the Assassin meta. Those ranged DPS junglers that have been so popular in the LATAM region, they're no longer going to be a big deal. So it's who can adapt the best. Yeah, maybe you can get Lindis. Violet still plays pretty well, but I think if you can run a great kill graph, that's better.
All right, gentlemen. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this INTZ roster before we get into things too deep. Now, I know you mentioned whether or not who is it that's going to be playing. You get your wish, my good friend. Pararia will find himself into the roster over Kyo, and this is going to be the X Factor.
Yeah, and Kilgore actually got buffed. His abilities actually do a little more damage this patch, a little bit of extra magic damage. So I'm excited to see Mr. Pararia on that Kilgore. That'd be exciting.
I'm very interested in that specific change because Kilgroth, I think, got indirectly nerfed as well because they took Soul Reaver and made it kind of the default item. That's not what Kilgroths used to run. They used to run Scorching Wind for the quicker attack speed. That doesn't work very well on melee anymore. So I don't know if it was a net buff or a net loss, but we're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, they don't build Soul Reaver on Kilgore. Normally, it is Scorching Wind because of the lifesteal, because of the sheer attack speed that Kilgore shines on. When he gets 3 people with Helgo's Edge, you saw what Pereira did last week, and that's exactly what INTZ needs to pull off. But I'm sure Pain Gaming already got his number, and they'll probably ban away that Kilgore from him.
All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about Pain Gaming a little bit more. There have been a lot of players that stepped up, but there's a lot of players that also find themselves as a big question mark in their ability to remain consistent throughout this season.
Yeah, I think the key is ZRK. He tends to go in with a Malik ultimate at the wrong time. White and Cray, they also have to be on the same page and engage. And Momo is never able to initiate with his team, so he has to back off and play it safe. And that's when they play against a really good team. So INTZ is a good team, so I think the skill levels will be more even. But we'll see if INTZ can really push it against Pain Gaming.
I'm keeping an eye on White, because I think White was, in many cases, their star player, but he was their star player on range DPS, which, again, might be phased out of the meta a bit.
All right, now, we've seen what we have from both of these teams. We've seen shimmers of light, I would more say explosions of light in INTZ in some of their matches and the ability that they have to step up in a lot of instances. With that being said, we've also seen excitement. We've also seen a lot of really good things coming out of Pain Gaming. Now, the question that I might ask you, predictions.
Whew, it's going to be tough because Pereira's playing, but I think this will go 2-0 for Pain Gaming. Pain Gaming has performed a little down, and INTZ is on the way up, but I think 2-0 Pain Gaming.
I had to think, because I do genuinely think INTZ, if they show up well, if they adapt to the patch well, are more than a match for Pain Gaming, who've looked a little bit inconsistent. However, the strength of Pain Gaming consistently has been that when they show up and they do their research, they look like an entirely different team. I think as we're nearing the end of the season, as these matches are incredibly important to them, they're going to take this 2-0.
All right, well, you guys see what they feel like on the desk. What about you? Are you going to continue to ride the Pain train, or is it INTZ that is going to step up, show out, and potentially get themselves to Sao Paulo? Head over to Twitter, use the hashtag Valor Series, tweet us your predictions and your thoughts on the matchup. Now, we saw some exciting things over in Europe with this new patch, with the new balance update. Is there anything we can expect to see while we get into this draft?
Yeah, I think Roxy is very strong this patch update because of kind of her ability to suppress her opponents. Once she gets an Acne Grasp, both her other abilities go off cooldown, right? That's kind of crazy. So I'm going to see which team is going to get that Roxy because it's going to be a game changer if executed properly. And also Ignis, of course.
Let's talk about the bans, though, because we start off with Kiltmore Kriknak being taken immediately off the board. We've shifted a bit in the meta. We've been talking about it. Assassins are definitely more viable post-patch. That is a big sign of it.
Yeah, and there's the Ignis ban coming. INTZ does not like Kriknak. They don't like Crash as well, so it's banned for them, or they ban Crash. Also, Pain Gaming, they don't like Mina, so I wonder if Mina may come out as a potential ban here.
INTZ start off with 2 bans towards the Pain Gaming style. They don't want that split lane Xennial, they don't want the Crashed, and actually they'll follow through with Arm as well, continuing the LATAM tradition and their tradition of targeting supports characters with a ton of control.
And that's the key there, because with the control, that's Pain Gaming's, signature comps. They want to run the Slims and the 5-man combo CC. And INTZ, now they have their first stab. Will they pick up the Roxy, the Valheim? What it will be that priority? And they're going to go with a Malik instead. Okay.
INTZ did, interestingly, on the Malik. I want to see if maybe they can follow through, make that Malik work again. Because I do think Malik is incredibly powerful in early game aggression in a way very few other characters are.
Irie will be picked up with a net there, and that's a great pick for a net because in INTZ, they love to pick a net, and Malik had actually been one of their priority picks here, along with potentially, they could go with a Liliana here, or a Mina as well. Zephyrs will be picked up, and Mina, there we go, there's a Mina.
The Zephyrs is a pick I don't really agree with. We saw it once during the EU set. I think with the shift towards Jungle Assassin, people feel they need to run one, but I don't like him in jungle.
I think with a Malik Zephyrs combo, that's great actually with Mina as well.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Zephyrs was buffed 2 patches ago. He does more damage from his ability, more magic damage. And in this patch, he's buffed. His abilities cost a lot less mana, so he has a lot more stamina, so to speak, when he rotates through jungle.
I think you're absolutely right. That combo makes it work. Pain Gaming, though, they get a jungle of their own. Lindis and the side lane will be Arduin.
And Morin will most likely be on a side lane here. And are we going to pick up the Liliana? Yes, Liliana as expected from their previous drafts here. And now Pain Gaming, they're probably going to round this out with potentially a Jinnar. Momo loves playing the Jinnar. It's such a heavy dive composition that they can play. But they will actually go with Raz instead here.
And I can see the logic to that. Jinnar would suffer from the AoE knockup, the AoE CC available. So maybe by going for a Raz with a little bit more mobility, they feel they can get away. Remember, the first time we really saw Raz in competitive play was to counter a Grak. So I think it may be a similar situation. They want a character that can get away from the burst.
All right, well, we don't have a Lubu, so I don't really care. I'm just kidding.
All right.
No, I'm actually really excited to see this. But what I'm more excited to see specifically is INTZ and this jungle Zephys. Specifically because, one, clearly you have this kind of rise of these melee assassin-style junglers that we have seen over in Europe as well as the other regions internationally before this patch hit. But more importantly, there are teams that you look at in the Latin American region specifically that excel when aggression is their #1 priority. INTZ is one of those teams. They do find themselves similar to Assassin's Crew, that when they get ahead early, good things are bound to happen. Does the Zephys become the catalyst for them to continue to do so?
Yeah, if they get ahead early, he gets level 4 first, and they get the first dragon, and he just snowball and invades. They actually have a very scary composition. The entire comp has a lot of AoE damage. Even Morin with his Magnetic Storm and Impact Barrage, lots of AoE. So if they can execute their combo, INTZ can actually take a game.
I'm going to be curious where this Morin plays. You said side lane?
Side lane, probably.
And it would be, if that does come through, which I agree, that should be the prediction, that is maybe the first of a wave of characters that were traditionally run in the jungle being able to shift to side lane, which I think was maybe the intention behind the patch from Tencent to make that side lane marksman viable.
All right, well, while we get ourselves loaded into the match, this is the Latin American region, and we want to remind you guys at home at all times that if you find yourself with English maybe not being your first language, and you do want to watch this in Spanish, you can head over to facebook.com/Arena of Valor Esports, where we have the Spanish commentators, we have the Spanish broadcast available for you. Now, these players are getting loaded onto the battlefield right about now, as if Q going, you know what, Jump, you know what, it's time to play. We'll go ahead and play just for you. Because, guys, all is on the line. Pain Gaming, while they have secured themselves a spot at Sao Paulo, can play the gatekeeper for INTZ as they need these next wins.
INTZ, after their tie last week, need a win, and it's a hard win to earn.
Yeah, this is do or die for them. They have to survive and get the win here, and they're playing just like that. They're playing to win with this invade here, taking this red Mike Golem.
It is being counter-invaded though. Pain Gaming have an invade of their own going. And so far, it's just going to be an even trade. Mist might actually be able to steal it away. White's in a trouble from Fusion. Mist will be stunned up. Golem is picked up by Pain Gaming, but Fusion is right into the middle of this team. The early game power of Malik showing through as the side lands. They're both knocked up though. Taiku takes the front line. The heal forces INTZ to stay high HP and back off.
2 people. Momo came in to save the day, and of course, as well, Taiku landing a great Ren there, using the flicker just in the right moment to CC so that White can get out in time. But Fusion, such a nice rotation by him as Malik, landing the cleave, hitting 2 people. This is why Malik's early game makes him so good.
Fusion looked really good there. He started out with just the early game pressure. He came through with a clutch heal to keep his team up. I really like that early showing from him. Remember, that was their first pick, and it's a strong argument for it.
Yeah, and we'll see how Momo will do. I think that the mid lane is going to be very important. Mist is not on his Crixie, and Momo's not on his Jinnar. So these are two kind of fairly new heroes that we haven't seen them play a lot of. And I'm excited to see the aggressiveness of Momo on this Raz here, because when Raz gets a beautiful AoE explosive KO on his opponents, he's literally a playmaker that helps his team win fights.
The one thing, though, is I look for a little bit of anti-synergy there with their Annette and their Lindis. Both those characters rely more on the fight being set up and them being able to execute influence on it. So maybe actually the disruption of a Raz will backfire.
Yeah, exactly. It could backfire. If they can counter-engage against him because of the Malik, the Zephy's ultimate and Impact Barrage with the Medic Storm. And then you have Liliana, she's got a stun too. And then Mina, she's got a Dark Dominion. So if they don't kill someone with an engage and they're on the same page, Pain Gaming can put themselves in a really bad position by engaging on a Mina composition like that.
This Missile Dragon is up. It'll be challenged by both sides, but nobody's really going for it yet.
Yeah, and look at that. White is rotating pretty well. White, as you know, does have a lot more gold than the Myth here, but look at this. They're going to start getting the Dragon here, and Paint Gaming, they know.
Yeah, half HP on Dragon. Mist playing Gatekeeper, will land the Blinding Light stun, but here's the engage. Cray will go in, and he's doing a lot of damage. Mist does get the Dragon for INTZ, and Taiku's in a lot of trouble. The Riki shot will come through. He's healed up, though, and Momo shuts down Kyo. Momo goes in for 2 with White backing him up onto Fusion. That is a very good start for Pain.
Yeah, very good for although Fusion landed a great shock. He used his heal. It just wasn't enough. The focus from Pain took him down so quickly, and they also took out Kyo as well, getting 2 kills, and Momo, just his aggressiveness and the explosive damage from Raz is just paying off.
And Pain Gaming try and come through to the jungle as well. Myth is now here to properly contest. They stop Pain from stealing anything. And Cray's in a lot of trouble. His Hurricane Wall's shut down. And Mist is hard on the chase with the Flicker spent as well. Sadly, he doesn't have the ranged wall in Fox form, but joined by Pateria, they absolutely can grab White, given his low HP. There's the poke. Blinding Light goes wide, and White will survive. Yeah, what a nice counter engage there by INTZ. They're back in this game. They have not lost yet. They did get the Dragon, although they lost 2 deaths. This puts them now in the gold lead for INTZ. And it's going to come down to, again, how well are they going to be able to engage and then convert these kills into even more objectives. It's all about objective control for both these teams. Traditionally, Pain Gaming are very, very good at that. You can definitely at times see the influence of having played at the AWC in their control game. Here, though, I feel they're losing that.
Yeah, they definitely are losing the game. ITZ has better map control. They're the ones rotating more aggressively. They're the ones camping in the jungle. They want to kill, actually. They don't want to take that blue golem. And ZRK able to split push a little bit. There's a 4-man rotation. Patero's going to be in big trouble.
Big trouble indeed. ZRK goes in, lands the re-ult. Momo's there. He knocks down what was set up. However, the tower will survive, and this means that there's an opportunity for an overall win as Myth commits down bottom. The shock will follow through from the death from above, and Mist finds the kill. This tower doesn't have minions against it either, though, so it will remain up. Yeah, waves are coming on both sides. They're going to trade both towers there. However, ITZ, they made a little mistake. They took a little too long waiting in that jungle for that gank. They should have just took the blue and then rotated down to tower and get ahead. And now look at it, they've lost the gold lead while they're trading the towers. And they may not get this tower either. There's the commit. Momo, he finds one kill. Myth is desperately trying to find the trade and will do so. The tower goes down. Now they have the response, and that is worth it. Fusion from Momo is a very acceptable trade for INTZ. Yeah, that's the power of Myth's Zephy's there. If he lands his death from above, he activates his Thunder Crash ability, does extra damage from his abilities there, and you can see the damage output from the Zephy's in the early game. That's the key. Zephy's is scaling now, and the Dragon is being taken by Pain Gaming. Yeah, Pain Gaming with full control of the area. Cray running that zone currently, and Annette's very good at that. So now to challenge, INTZ have no way into that first major objective for Pain Gaming. Yeah, and this is the key. This is when Zephy starts to shine. That 6-minute mark, he's level 8. This is his power spike. He can easily jump onto White and blow him up in one combo. The key is he has to land his death from above. And I'm waiting for INTZ to combo what they have in their kit. And look at ZRK there. Misses spin, but he's got to be careful. I don't know if that was intentionally good bait, but Pateria read him like a book. And this is an easy pickup. Myth coming through as well. Very aggressive by ZRK. We talked about him going alone. Fusion might be in trouble, though. His shock's cancelled out. The trade will be even. However, I think the kill, again, is more important for INTZ.
Yeah, they are trading back and forth. Both side laners, they're dying and trading. INTZ is going to trade for mid and top tower.
Momo will have something to say about it. There's a dive in, the explosive KO. Not triggered. He'll play passive, play safe. The tower goes down.
Really nice job by INTZ there. They traded 2 towers for 1, and like that, they might get back in lead, but the bottom tower, tier 2, will be taken by Pain as well.
White doing so much damage on the early game. Lindis, INTZ have no option to get in.
Yeah, INTZ, they have to kind of refocus. What they want is they want to be the one to get the gank and not trade for these ganks here, because as a result, the even trading is not going to allow them to get ahead.
We'll have to see if INTZ as a whole team can maintain this map control, because that looked like a really good performance shift from them for a team whose objective control and map control we've often criticized in the past. They've looked really good today. Really nice steal by Myth there. But they got to start making plays, because when Lindis starts coming online, they're going to be in big trouble. They do have a Morin, though, so they have an ADC on their side, but he is also ahead on gold at 4.1k. This is their chance to really push their lead. The big difference, though, is Scorching Wind. It wasn't pre-Scorching Wind. It wasn't previously really accepted to run Scorching Wind on Lindis. That has to happen now because of the shifts to the jungle items. And it may be more powerful because Scorching Wind did get buffed for ranged DPS. Yeah, it definitely did get buffed, and it gives that extra attack speed, too. Because of the shifts to the jungle items, and it may be more powerful because Scorching Wind did get buffed for ranged DPS. Yeah, it definitely did get buffed, and it gives that extra attack speed too. Their Fusion being aggressive here. Oh, he's a little too aggressive here. They gotta be careful. White in trouble as well. Will survive. Myth can't find the connection. Pain Gaming have the man advantage, and they'll get more. Fusion in a lot of trouble in the front lines. There's the cleave. He's shut down despite it, but he's still finding so much damage before he goes down. I don't know that it was enough, but it bought time for the rest of INTZ to retreat. Yeah, that was 4 to 5 members on Pain Gaming's jungle there, and they tried to be aggressive with just 3 members positioned on that side of the map, and that's a big mistake. Fusion uses his shock ultimate on no one. As a result, they lose a dragon here, and that engage was just really poor by INTZ. There's no teamwork. Oh, Padaria! He's in so much trouble. He tries to flicker away, but ZRK had him read like a book. Yeah, and if it's 1 versus 1 against an Irie, guess what? Irie the assassin is going to kill you, the marksman, because that's her job. Mist in trouble now. Myth will go aggressive. The Death Room buff does land. He's shielded by the Essence of the Wind. He will survive. I don't know how, though. And Mist got wave clear in the meantime. And look at White there, just farming. Even though he's so low, this is why his gold per minute, 727 gold per minute on average versus White, versus Myth, only 640. CRK will take this bottom tower during this time, or top tower, rather. Fusion will have the contest to respond, but they've already lost a whole bunch of ground. Pain Gaming are in control. Yeah, and look at this. They have a nice and healthy, almost 4k gold lead for Pain Gaming and 5 kills ahead. Now they can set up for the Dark Slayer potentially in the next minute. INTZ need this game. They need both game wins tonight in order to stay in contention for Sao Paulo, assuming Assassin's Crew get their 2-0. Myth gets that red. Well, the key is they have to fight together, TJ. They're not on the same page. They need to rotate as a 5-man unit and leverage the composition they have, the combos they can bring out against Pain Gaming here. And like I said, they're giving up the Dark Slayer, and that's not what you want against a team that's ahead. And there's the Dark Slayer picked up the shot from Fusion. That's an overcommitment. He doesn't even get to contest. He's already down. There is no teamwork there, Suey. Fusion just fused with the air and melted away there, unfortunately. But wow, what a risky play by him. They can't do stuff like this. They gotta work together. And ZRK just grabbed Padaria in the backline. There is gonna be no defense for a solid 15 seconds here, at least until Fusion gets back. INTZ just have to accept they're gonna be pushed back to their high grounds, if that. Here's the Drake. Oh man, this could be the game. They gotta stick together and protect Padaria. The tower, half HP. Taigu will go through, and INTZ need to play it so far back. Now the respawns are coming through. Fusion has come through, but the second tower, the second high ground, is gonna go down as well. And Pain Gaming are slowly and steadily working their way towards this core. Yeah, now, they are. If they get another kill here, this might be really bad, but I think INTZ can hold them off. INTZ, I kept waiting for them to go for a team fight, but they just play.
Match 2 was our premier match of the week, with the 2 Titans.
What happened? What the heck happened? Oh my goodness, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It looked like my internet reset. Did the stream deck go out? Here, I think we're like right about here.
Yeah, but I think INTZ can hold him off.
INTZ, I kept waiting for them to go for a team fight, but they just played careful, passive, and worked on the waves, and that's actually paid off.
Yeah, the key here is they have to just rotate together. They need to protect Paderia and make sure if ZRK goes
Alright, put us back where we were. They just got the Slayer and they summoned the Dragon mid lane.
If Paderia is alive, he can then carry the fight
right back to
and finish off the lane. Look at his items. He has significant damage there. Clav Sanctity and a Slick Stain. That's a lot of crit and crit % damage that he has in his kit there. So they just need to protect Paderia and play around him. Look at that burst damage from Liliana.
Yeah. There is the damage on INTZ, but they're playing into an Abyssal buff, and I think you can see that by how quickly it regens on some of those members. This is going to be a very difficult team fight. It
is. It's smart for them to play passive. They need to wait for Pain to make a mistake, be out of position, and then engage when they have that Abyssal Enraged buff there. Enraged Abyssal buff.
Here come the super minions down mid lane and top lane. Mid lane is cleared easily. Pain Gaming not going for an engage yet. They look so passive at times. This is one of those times.
It is one of those times.
And it may hurt them. Fusion still hovering up front, bathing in the magnetic storm. That's going to help them. Nobody dares challenge, and the wave is cleared again.
Really nice defense by INTZ. They need to be careful. They need to continue to clear the waves here. Pain Gaming, they wanna keep this pressure up so they can go ahead and rotate through the entire jungle, which is what they're doing right now. And Cray,
yeah, pulled in dangerously. Keo.
That was their chance. That was their chance to engage there.
Keo had a great front line, and they just constantly have these wave clears due to the high damage available from their characters.
Yeah, and look how fast White rotates from that side of the map and right back.
To see if they can clear this one. Again, easy clear. Using those ults, that magnetic storm is on such a short cooldown. Pain Gaming, I think, have made their decision. They just have to go for a fight, and they will. ZRK finds nothing with his ultimate, though. That was a lot of his abilities blown for very little. However, INTZ are forced to play back, and here come the super minions. The shock will come through. Fusion taking the front lines. That's so much shield. Taiku is chained down underneath the tower. Dark Dominion comes through. Paderia playing from the final high ground tower is doing a ton of damage as well. ZRK gets chunked by him. The magnetic storm is doing big damage to Taiku, but the tower is down, and Paderia is as well. There's the commit from Momo. All of INTZ are scared back, including Myth, as White pushes forward. He has the Dark Blessing, which means you cannot kill him, and this should be game. Wave arriving in all three lanes, and Pain Gaming have yet to lose a member. INTZ are indeed down 2, and here comes the final push, but ZRK falls. Myth goes in. White will find the trade. Myth did find ZRK. It is all on Myth now, as the core is half HP. Pain Gaming take game 1.
The core falls, and Pain Gaming shows yet again why they have secured themselves and punched their ticket to the regional finals. Welcome back to the desk, everyone. My name is Jump. I'm joined here yet again by the TJ Sweej combination. Gentlemen, Pain Gaming showed that dominance yet again.
Yeah, I mean, INTZ did step out and played a lot better than I expected. They had a chance to win it. It was in that mid-game. But they split up, just like the last team fight, the last game. Paderia went on his own, and the whole team was not with him. If they all engaged with him, they might have been able to win that fight and stay in the game.
And I think this is a point that you kind of touched on a little bit, TJ, throughout this game, is INTZ, they're great when they're working together, but it seemed like every single player had their own agenda, and it was as separate units.
Yeah, Sui said it right before one of the Dark Slayer fights where the Malik vastly overcommitted. They had a really good team play comp, and we never saw all that control come through as a single wave.
Exactly. Fusion there, you see with his 6 deaths, just kind of a little over-eager. Either they're all with him, or they play around Padera, like whatever it is. But I think the key is probably play around the Morin. Let Morin engage, get his stacks, precision stacks up, and then commit really hard once he has his stacks. And they never, ever pull that off. And CRK did a phenomenal job zoning in on Padera every single time as an assassin.
And you have to give a lot of credit as well over to White. White has had, over the last couple weeks, a little inconsistent play. Some days he's shown up, some days he hasn't. Now finding himself on a Lindis, finding himself in the comfort of those ranged heroes like what you were talking about in the pick ban phase, TJ, finally starting to get himself his footing. And this is important for them because while they have secured themselves a spot in the regional finals, every game is an extra piece of practice to get ever so closer to those Sao Paulo finals.
And that's the key to White there. His gold per minute on average, like around 730, which is very, very, anything over 700 is excellent tier 1 status. And you can see White the entire game is constantly ahead of farming whenever he can, and rotating with his team to get these ganks. And that's exactly how you want to play. So Pain Gaming, their teamwork is looking a lot better along with White's gold lead.
Pain Gaming have a big challenge ahead of them, and that challenge's name is Geo Esports. So yes, every game matters, Jump, because every game is an opportunity to get their practice down, get their team play down. And that did look like a very, very good Pain Gaming, but it's still definitely far cry from where they need to be.
All right, well, we can take a look at our AT&T replay of the game. We're just after the 8-minute mark, and again, these are those situations where things start to go awry for INTZ.
Yeah, they're kind of split. It's 4 versus 5 here. I don't know why they're engaging in the jungle. Mist was a little too over-eager. Fusion wastes his shock on one person, doesn't really land it that well. Then he gets caught out, and then they fall here. And after this, they give up so many objectives, and they're doing so well before. They're trading objectives every single 2 towers, 2 towers, 1 kill, 1 kill. INTZ just had a really good lead, and they had it in the mid-game. And they needed to capitalize on the strength of Zephy's in that mid game. That's when he spikes so much more than any other hero. And if you don't capitalize on a Zephy's mid game, you're probably going to lose.
Gentlemen, game number 2 is about to get started very shortly. The pick ban phase, we find Pain Gaming on the blue side, INTZ taking up the red. Now, despite the fact that this is still a very winnable very winnable moment, rather, for INTZ, what can they change in this pick ban phase now to hopefully get themselves a tie in game 2?
Put Myth on Violet or Lindis, and put Padera on that Kilgroth. We talked about his Kilgroth. I mean, his Moira wasn't bad. But I feel like he's so much better than Kilgroth.
I really do feel like the Kilgroth may have gotten nerfed by this update. I really do feel that way.
He's still good.
Well, we'll find out, hopefully, at least. The bans remain the same to start. Pain Gaming again, or Pain Gaming targeting those control-focused characters. They'll take out Yabeneth, obviously, Aurum,
Zenio,
technically,
Ignis.
And then INTZ are the ones to ban out Krignak.
Yeah, they're gonna ban out Ignis here too, and Crash. They don't like Crash, and they don't like Ignis, which means they may hand over. I'm surprised Valheim's not played anymore. He got nerfed slightly, so he's not as powerful as he is in the side lane.
He's still strong.
He's still strong, but there's counters to him. Annette being banned. We didn't see her make that big of a difference in that last game.
I think she definitely, a couple of those win cuffs were a little bit dirty.
Yeah.
In a way that if I were on the receiving end of them, I would certainly stray away from letting her through again.
So do they take the Lindis off the bat here, or are they going to secure a key side laner? Like, I mean, they first picked the Irie, for example.
I don't know how well White does on melee characters, so
yeah, so maybe they'll take the Lindis here, because Lindis is so strong this patch, and they will prioritize the Malik. Wow, Malik, huge priority for Latin America. Both teams have first picked him on the blue side.
Very good in the early game, and that may be just exclusively why.
Where's Roxy? No Roxy, unfortunately. So Zenio will be picked up along with Lindis or Violet. Oh, Chognar. I like the Chognar pick because that's a great counter to the Malik ultimate. And with Zenio being picked up here, we can then see potentially a Liliana get picked up along with the Lindis.
Malik actually at a 53% win rate.
Wow. Why would they pick Lumber now, though? They can secure like a key side laner first before the Lumber.
Well, they need the Lindis for White, because as discussed, he doesn't really do assassin characters. The Lumber may be there to function almost exclusively as a bodyguard, and it does combo well with that Malik. I do agree it seems a bit odd to pick it so early on. I'd like to touch on Malik's stats, though.
Okay, Zephy's, they're going to go with that same.
You were talking about how Malik's a priority for the LATAM region. 93% pick rate, only 53% win rate. That is absurd.
The key is Malik is such a team fight hero. If you try to split with him or engage uneven, he's not going to do well. You have to fight together as a team.
And I think that what you were kind of pointing on this with the Malik specifically was that he is used in every single game, but just because of his sheer viability, you're still fighting in a sense where you have counters just as much as you have advantages.
Ooh.
Look at this Natalia. We know why the Lumber came out now. It's to protect the Natalia so they can have backline big damage.
Yeah, that is huge. And Natalia, she can't get stunned or she's kind of immune when she uses that lethal death rays. You have to break through the barrier before you can do any kind of CC to her. And ITZ, they have a good comp, but can they execute the comp together? They have to poke with Kali's range and then go in.
And again, this is kind of the difficulty that they might put themselves in that they had of game one. Great team fight composition, great ability to execute as a unit, but if everybody has their own agenda, you're not going to find schedules lining up. You're not going to find yourselves be able to hang out after school the way that you really want to.
I think INTZ kind of need to show up after school for the club meeting, because this is the same trouble. Yes, they have a good composition on paper, but if they can't sync up those control abilities, if those chaos protections don't protect the entire team, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. They're going to be very easy to pick apart.
And if you're not careful, Pain Gaming, as we have seen throughout the entirety of the Valor series, is definitely not afraid to put the pain onto you and to steal all of your lunch money. So make sure that you have to make...
They still owe me $5.
Gosh darn it, White! All right, let's talk a little bit about this Pain Gaming composition, though. Natalia, we have seen her pop up in memes. We have also seen her pop up in legitimate compositions. With the recent balance changes, with the opportunity that you have specifically with this composition, does this actually seem like a viable comp that they can use time and time again?
Yeah, I mean, Arcane Nova has a nice stun, lots of burst damage, and then you have Lumber's Earth Splitter, right? And then Malik Shock Ultimate, and Ari has a Ryu. That's 3 AoE stuns. And Lindis can actually play around Natalia, and if they try to dive on Lindis and Natalia then cast Lethal Death Rays, you gotta run away. So I feel like their comp, if they do it properly and how they played game one, they're gonna be able to run the table here against INTZ.
I will say, and maybe you can answer this question, I do feel like Lumber in this composition functions like bad Grak. And I feel like if you had a Grak to set up those combos, it would just be better.
Isn't everything a bad Grak to you?
Yes.
All right, there's the answer. Guys, don't forget, we have a Spanish broadcast available for you. If you find yourself wanting to watch Latin Americans Valor series in Spanish, it is Facebook.com/Arena of Valor Esports. But now, guys, it's time to make a decision. Will Pain Gaming steal the lunch money, or will INTZ rally together and show that if all 5 members stand up to the big bad bully that is Pain Gaming, they can walk away with the win?
Jump! Lunch money's already being stolen! The pressure for Pain Gaming into the jungle. It's not a good start for INTZ, particularly as Kio's knocked incredibly low. Cray is just taking this front line, however, the cleave does not land.
Oh, no, Kio falls, and that's going to get first blood over to... And another!
Momo, he chimes in as well. Mist goes down. That's 2 of the key characters. Keo on support and Mist on mid lane DPS already shut down.
What a beautiful 4-man rotation there by Pain Gaming. And getting 2 kills this early? Man, this is going to hurt INTZ.
This is, we were talking about lunch money. They just got their lunch money for the week stolen. Because if they want to come back, they're going to need to go hungry for a while. We're now just off of that start, looking at them not being able to win any team fights till, I would say, the 3 to 5 minute mark.
Yeah, and Myth, he can't fall behind White, and if White gets ahead again, we know his ability to carry there, and that's a huge reason why. Look at Keo. Oh my goodness. He's got to be careful because Natalia, she's got Arcane Fire. If you let her stack that onto you up to 10 times, it's going to do a nice amount of burst damage against you there, buddy, so be careful.
And he is being very careful. Recalling back to the base and jungle, resetting whilst all of Pain Gaming spread out across the map.
Yeah, and you can see Irie there pushing against the fusion. And right now, they have to set up for a dragon. INTZ cannot give over a dragon to Pain Game. They need to somehow turn it around, steal the dragon, and get kills.
And Pain Gaming have already started the dragon. They know off of the early game, they have a pretty easy pickup. They'll do exactly that.
And like I said, the dragon will come easy over to Pain Gaming, and now INTZ have a 3-man rotation on top.
There is a challenge inside the INCZ jungle that they're missing in order to pressure this tower, so they better get this tower, otherwise they're behind in gold, and Myth is not doing a lot of damage, even with minions here. I don't think they can take the tower.
ZRK, you gotta be careful here. You gotta use your ultimate.
Right into the middle. There's the ult. He'll dive out as well. Keo will be in a lot of trouble, but he's going to be able to survive. The problem is, as a whole, INTZ lose out.
Yeah, what a nice defense there by ZRK. Against 4 people, he held off the line, uses out the right moment, cleared out the wave, and protected his tower. And you can see, but Ping Gaming will not exert pressure. Actually, no, they will. They will take bot tower there. That's going to open up Dragon side of the map for them completely. That's exactly what you do not want against Ping Gaming.
It felt like they overestimated how much damage Myth was doing, because there was just no way he took that tower.
Yeah, they're definitely. I feel like they needed to focus on ZRK, get him really low, and then try to take the tower. But because he's there, he's able to use all his AoE and clear the wave, and also do damage to the team. Almost killing Q, actually.
Oh, Myth. Yeah, lethal raise comes through. Myth barely able to hop over the wall.
Yeah, what? That's a leap of vitality, living up to its name there, and he gets to safety just in the nick of time.
It's so scary when that Arcane Nova lands on you and you're just slowly getting chipped down.
Yeah, look at White, 2.1k gold already, over Myth's 1.2k. That is not good for Myth right now. And look how aggressive White is playing. They're going to now invade jungle because they know he's ahead.
Myth will need to play defense. He's got Keo to do so, but it's a 2v3, and ZRK is going in. The Angelic Splendor will land. Fusion joins the fray. ZRK stuns them all, though. He'll say, not today, and dip.
That Malice misses, and ZRK jukes him and goes the other direction and gets away to safety.
Taiku ults into the other side of the jungle. That shock already spent that Sage Golem very low, and it will be eked away. I think White stole that.
Man, another steal. 2k gold lead now, 2 deaths, and then another Abyssal Dragon. INTZ is just getting choked out. They have to respawn and try to get a gank here to turn the tide in their favor. Because if they don't get an uneven fight matchup, like a 5 versus 4 by getting the gank, there's no way they can fight Ping Gaming head to head.
They literally cannot win team fights for, I would say, the first 10 minutes at this point. If they play good from behind AoV for 10 minutes, they can get back in this, but just the economy is so against them.
Yeah, White does not have that much damage yet. He has Scorching Wind. He is levels ahead, though. Level 8 against a level 4 and a 6. Keo's got to be careful. He's extremely squishy as level 4 Chognar.
Fusion might have to be careful as well. He's just recalling rather than trying to defend the tower. Keo and Mist, the players you said needed to watch out, are doing that, and are watching out for their jungle.
Yeah, and look at the poke damage coming from White.
Yeah, he'll be threatening near this tower. Fusion does have the wave clear, though, so nothing serious will happen. This is actually, I think, a missed opportunity. INTZ, that's a lot of ults blown.
Yeah, they got to combine the Flying Spear with the Ethereal Pulse ultimate from Kali there. That's how they can win a team fight.
White will be poking. I think the entire team here at Pain wants to go for this team fight. The shot comes through, it's perfectly timed. INTZ already so low. The Arcane Nova misses, though, and they don't have a follow-up, so it's just White doing the damage, and he can only find one, but that one is Myth. ZRK will threaten mid, but not find anything with it.
Yeah, nice Chaos Protection to get out of the Lumber and the Malik ultimate. However, Myth could not survive long enough. A late Angelic Splendor from Fusion couldn't save him in time, and that's unfortunate. Myth is going to now continue to fall behind. He's level 6 versus an almost level 10 Lindis on White.
Arcane Raze in mid. Momo continuing to find pressure against Mist. Pain Gaming playing this so aggressive, and Pateria will have to challenge for his Golem Craze there, though the Rampage for the stun up, allowing White to just hover here, playing through the bush and doing so much damage. The Earth Shatter will come out. There's the Ethereal Pulse. Mist should have the zone.
Yeah, that's their chance to get on White there. White is so... He was low. Zephy's landed. Padera landed a great ultimate there. They could have gone low enough, and then they could have used Execute to secure the kill on him. That was their chance to turn it around, because White was overpositioned. There was 2 versus 3 in that jungle, but unfortunately, INTZ was not able to capitalize. And look at White, just constantly feeding, farming. He's level 11.
Pateria, you're in trouble. The only thing White's seeing is red as he and ZRK pick up another kill towards the bottom lane.
With that siege main, they're going to get down the tower.
Yeah, Myth's in trouble. Fusion, it's Myth try and threaten this top tower, and Taiku and Momo are there to say no.
This is just utter surgical dominance right now. 0 deaths for Pain Gaming. They are just executing their win condition and rotation so well right now.
That Flying Spear goes wide. Myth may be in trouble, but he can find the follow-up damage. If things go well, Things did not go well, though, and Pain Gaming found the zone.
Yeah, the only way they can turn any of these team fights around is if they kill White. If White stays alive, he's so ahead of everyone else in the game right now. His items, his levels. If they don't kill White first, and INTZ cannot win a fight. No way. That is the only way they can win. And how you get onto White, his positioning has been phenomenal, but he has been a little over-aggressive and over-eager, though.
Oh, here it is again. Pataria in trouble. Oh, he recommits. He overcommits. White will absolutely slaughter him. He does get the damage reduction from that Angelic Splendor. White is playing this very passively. Now the rest of the team comes through. That Earth Shatter will land, but to very little avail. White, though, he's just playing constant aggro, and he gets one. That will be the commit over the Soul Summoning. ZRK's ult does not find enough damage. That's 2 kills found. White shut down, and ZRK very low. In the meantime, though, Taiku takes that top lane tower.
Myth just keeps getting blown up by White. White is laser focused on him. He's so squishy. Easily kills him so quickly, but really good play by Pantera there. Landing his death from above again and comboing, getting the kill on White. That is massive. That's what they need to do. If Pantera can keep this up, because if you remember last week, Pantera was the most fed in the game. Right now, he's not. And the only way they can win is Pantera can make some plays here.
And that may be a lot of trouble, particularly for Fusion, who's playing this top lane. Taiku has the cutoff. He's going to recommit rather than full retreat, biding time for the rest of the team. However, they just don't have the damage to take these fights.
Yeah, they don't have the damage, and they don't have the levels. And they got to be careful here. Look at that. White's already level 13. Pantera, can he do anything? Nope, he won't be able to steal that. He's going to back off completely. But I think the key is going to come down to how Pantera and Myth work together here. Because Flying Spear, Death from Above combo, that's going to do a lot of work. And they can secure, hopefully, a team fight win. Or otherwise, they're going to be snowballed so hard soon.
Well, I think the snowball is already halfway down the hill, and Keo is doing his best Indiana Jones impersonation. He'll be knocked very, very low towards the mid area, and ZRK is so threatening.
Yeah, he's so low.
Good zone, though. Clearing the wave in mid. INTZ can hold on. They won't lose that tower anytime soon.
Yeah, they have Slims, but the one way they can try to stay in the game is just continue to leverage Kali because she has such good wave clear. But Darkslayer will be taking their really nice 4-man rotation for Pain Gaming.
And Pain say, okay, sure, if you're just going to clear waves with Ethereal Pulse, well, use a Darkslayer. Let's see that work.
Yeah. And with the Darkslayer, they're going to have a chance.
ZRK, lethal raise, Earth Shatter. It is devastating. ZRK overcommits, and that might be the start of a turnaround. Fusion responds with the Malleus, but the shock is there. Taiku deep into the middle of the back lines, and INTZ need to retreat. And Pataria, you've overstayed your welcome. Now White's here to leverage the fight, and all of INTZ are shattered.
That was crazy. ZRK getting 2 kills there, and White's not even in the fight. As soon as White showed up, INTZ made a smart decision to back out. Look at that, Clav Sanctity just finished, but that was a crazy Ryu ultimate there, along with using the execute to secure those kills. Beautiful engage by ZRK.
Spotting his window where he could commit and trade 2 for 1. And, well, that's your dream there. Pataria, that was your mobility. You're dead.
Oh my goodness, look at that combo. The slows and the damage just coming out from the entire team. It's just too much.
The Morticianer, Suijai.
Yeah, Malik has Frost Cape too. Malik can slow you now. After he uses those abilities, he hits you, you're gonna get slowed, buddy. So you gotta be careful. You gotta land that Thunder Crash, that death from above.
Drake summoned. It was getting towards the end of the Drake timer, so they just needed to summon it, I think. They'll summon it with wave in mid. However, it doesn't get to wave. It doesn't buff the wave in time, and as such, it actually takes a lot of damage. But Fusion, you've overcommitted. Now Shock comes through. Keo is very, very low. He'll just have to back up, and the Drake will make short work of that mid lane tower, provided Pain defended. But they flank around. Now they'll grab Keo as a result. The Arcane Nova absolutely melting him. Pain Gaming continue to push.
That was such an interesting engage and overextension by Keo there. I don't know why he would do that. And actually Fusion and then Keo. And Pain Gaming is just taking advantage of this misposition by INTZ here.
And they'll get another tower. High ground's exposed now in all 3 lanes.
Yeah, 36,000 gold to 28,000 gold for them. Pain Gaming is feeling very comfortable. And
Pataria! Again, the shock comes through. He's going to try and stay in the Angelic Splendor, and he does, but the lethal raise now replaces the healing light, and that is not a great position to be in. He'll be able to back out, and Mist actually provides great zone. Taiku may have overextended, or ended up overextended. The Flying Spear will connect. He will go down, surely. And as he does, Pain Gaming need to retreat. The problem is, White in the meantime picked up the Dark Blessing and the Abyssal Dragon. They'll shred through the front line and begin to make work of those high grounds.
Yeah, and ZRK did get the high ground tower in the top pretty low there, almost got it. But he might be able to get here. A wave is coming very shortly, and they're putting pressure on top and bottom. So really nice split pushing by Pain Gaming, even though they have one death on their team.
There's again Earth Shatter.
Oh, but Dara gets a kill on ZRK. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
That tower is not going to be yours.
Good response. Finally, INTZ are able to find something. Padera, it feels like, has been a bit overextending. Now that finally pays off.
Yeah, he has. But if Padera goes in with Fusion and Kali, they have a really solid chance of winning these fights. And the key is, they just gotta get in position. Their positioning is punishing them a lot. Pain Gaming is the one initiating them and taking advantage of their poor position.
Oh, shock. Keo, low HP. Tycho again is the initiation. Momo's quite low on the backlines to Paderia, and Paderia actually does find the kill. Fusion commits with it. Cray is in a big spot of bother, but now he's got his team to back him up. Paderia will go down, and Fusion is in the midst of all this. White hovers round the side and finds the kill, and INTZ are shattered. A complete team wipe, and Pain Gaming are approaching their core.
Like I said, you don't kill White, you get wiped. And that's exactly what happened there. And White doing such a good job focusing all the high value towers coming from a flank and securing these kills. And this will be the game for Pain Gaming.
We said INTZ needed a 2-0. They will get neither game. Pain Gaming take game 2.
All right, well, here's my wallet, and there's my lunch money. Pain, you can have it. It's all yours. I'm sorry. I won't ever disrupt you. I won't ever call you out again. Welcome back, everybody, to the Valor series. With all memes aside, Pain Gaming walk away with a 2-0 victory over INTZ, essentially eliminating their chances now at making it to the finals in Brazil.
Not quite. It's Synergy 2-0
right.
Assassin's Crew.
You're right. This is, yes.
If Synergy 2-0 Assassin's Crew, INTZ are still in it. Unfortunately, our odds on that are slanted.
Yeah, you control your destiny. If you have to rely on another team controlling your destiny, that's not good odds for you, unfortunately.
I will say that it is the biggest gatekeep of all gatekeeps. When the last place team that has won one game in the entirety of the Valor series,
they turn this round.
They turn it around and go, hey, you want to go? You're stuck with us. All right, but before we get over to that game, before we start talking about that, we have to go ahead and do the wrap-up on Pain Gaming versus INTZ. 17-5 was the stat line. It was everybody coming out to play, and despite the fact that ZRK only had 14.6% of his team's damage, still showed up huge.
Yeah, and White just taking a lead, got full build. Once he got Clash Sanctity, Omni Arms, it was over. I mean, he was blowing up Myth so quickly, and Myth wasn't in the right position, didn't have the protection, and White just laser focused on the high value target. So really good job in it. And INTZ, on the other hand, focusing tanks and warriors, and they got to be careful. You want to wait for the high value target and focus that person first before trying to initiate a fight.
And we can take a look actually at our AT&T replay of the game, and we can see this was kind of one of the last team fights to kind of end things all, and it was just everybody from Pain knowing when to strike and how hard to do.
White just coming from the back, missed, bye. Myth, bye. Padera, bye.
His arm must hurt from waving because that was devastating. And his positioning and aggression all game. He was like playing frontline. He was just running at them and it was working and I didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah, and that's the key there. If you don't know where the marksman is, the high value target, and he positions like how White does, and the team engages, they're putting something at a disadvantage. You need to know where is like the Lindis, the Violet, the high value target. You need to know where they are before you engage. And INTZ engaged without knowing where White was. And as a result, you saw what happened. He came right behind him and boom, they blew up.
Well, we saw what happened indeed, as it was the members of Pain Gaming that walked away with a clean 2-0 victory over their opponent in INTZ. We have Assassin's Crew versus Synergy, as Assassin's Crew needs to make sure that they get themselves some wins to ensure their trip to Sao Paulo. Don't go anywhere. The Valor Series will be back quicker than a flicker.
Hello everyone! In today's Hero Spotlight, we'll introduce a new mage, Annette. With her powerful passive, she can heal teammates while providing enough control on the enemies. You'll always love to have her by your side. Passive Whisper Wind. When a hero near Annette uses an ability, she gains a stack of Seal of the Wind, up to 15 stacks. At 15 stacks, when Annette or a nearby ally falls below 70% HP, the seals will be consumed to restore HP to all nearby allies. This can only be triggered once every 5 seconds. Be careful, the enemies, teammates, and Annette herself can provide stack of Seal of the Wind when using abilities. First ability, Gust Force. Annette summons a whirlwind at the target location, dealing magic damage every 0.25 seconds for 2 seconds. The damage increases by 33% for every 2 hits. Enemies trapped in the center of the whirlwind take additional magic damage equal to 2% of their max HP, and their movement speed is reduced by 50% for 0.25 seconds. Therefore, we should keep the enemies close to the center of the whirlwind, slow them down, and ruin their team. Second ability, Wind Cuffs. Fires a wind orb that deals magic damage and reduces enemy movement speed. The orb keeps traveling, and upon striking a second target, creates a chain that pulls both targets in and deals an additional magic damage. The targets are also stunned for 1 second. Passive. The cooldown of this ability is instantly reset when Annette is stunned. She also gains physical and magic resistance and a shield for 2 seconds, 45-second cooldown. Try to strike 2 or more enemies. The monsters can also be pulled with the enemies. Both of them will be stunned as well. Ultimate Hurricane Wall. Annette dashes towards the target location and summons a hurricane. Nearby enemy heroes are knocked back and take magic damage. The hurricane also creates a barrier for 3.5 seconds. Allies within the barrier gain movement speed and attack speed. Enemy heroes cannot enter the barrier. This ability also instantly removes all control effects on Annette. The ultimate can knock back enemies, therefore protecting teammates and Annette herself. It can also enable Annette to pass through walls to escape. But remember, it can be interrupted. Combo. Use the second ability to control the enemies, then use the first one to slow them down. Now you can use the ultimate to knock the enemies out to the spot where your teammates can help you finishing the fight. Here are some tips you may want to know. 1. Be aware that no movement skill can dash into Annette's ultimate, including Yiboneth's first ability Flicker or Malok's ultimate. 2. When facing the enemies in lane, use the second ability to bind the minions and enemies together. 3. During the group fight, remember to use your ultimate to protect your marksman or another mage. The other teammates can also gain increase on their movement speed and attack speed. 4. The most important thing, don't use the ultimate at the wrong time or in the wrong place. Be extra careful and observe the battlefield more deeply. If you play support, learn the second ability prior to the first one. It's because you can take advantage of the cooldown reducing effect of the second ability. If you play carry, focus on the first ability more to guarantee more damage. Thanks for watching today's Hero Spotlight on Annette. See you on the battlefield.
We find ourselves out of the after-school program, and now it's time for the extracurricular activities as we find ourselves in the second match of the day for the Latin American region. Hello and welcome back to the Intel Esports Arena, where we are well underway with week number 7 of the Valor series, brought to you by Facebook Gaming. Gentlemen, we just saw Pain Gaming secure themselves a victory over INTZ. Fantastic for them. If INTZ wants to keep their playoff hopes alive, it all comes down to putting their faith into Synergy, who finds them up against another one of the fourth place contenders in Assassin's Crew.
And that is correct. Synergy needs to synergize or they will be immaterialized and gone.
Immaterialized?
Dematerialized works.
Yeah.
Okay, dematerialized.
But you were like 50, 60, 80% there. Yeah. No, absolutely. If INTZs are to stay in this, then Synergy need to 2-0 Assassin's Crew.
Yeah, and they can't be pulling off all of the DC comic heroes there. They tried that last week.
By contrast,
it kind of worked in the beginning, but then after 2 minutes, bloop, it fell off.
Just to change the framing, right? Assassin's Crew, if they 2-0 Synergy, they're guaranteed to go to Sao Paulo.
They are.
So this is a big game for them.
This is a very big game for them. Now, there is the other opportunity if you want to continue to get, all of the different computations. If Assassin's Crew goes 1-1, INTZ will then need to 2-0 Geo Esports.
Oh, all right, that's easy. That's
that's totally easy. Just play Grack. Just play Grack and Gilder.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
So it's certainly.
So the thing about
no, darn it, no. You're cut off. No more. No.
The G and G is a GG. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was good.
All right.
Oh, I never thought of that.
All right. Assassin's Crew. Let's talk about this roster. Fran, Maxine, Mano, Flex, and E-Buddy.
The key is Flex. Flex had a great Suka. He actually changed the game and went in on both the carries. But he also lost the game by split focusing and not protecting Fran. So I feel like Flex is the player to watch on this team. If he does well and focuses on the right target and the same target team is focusing, then Assassin's Crew just does phenomenal. If he splits focus, they lose the fight. So I think Flex will be the key person to watch here.
I have highlighted him every week. I'm going to do it again. Fran. Fran is nuts. Now, this is kind of an ongoing question. We've already talked about it with White. He's a very good range jungle player. Range jungle is no longer so much the meta. We'll have to see if he feels comfortable shifting over to an assassin, or maybe he's just going to play Lindis and we're not going to learn anything.
Well, we have also seen the fact that Latin America as a region is a little bit slower. They're like a diesel engine. It takes a little bit while for them to get warmed up to the current meta, as we have seen in some instances. But now, taking a look at their opponent, we find ourselves going up with Synergy Esports. Now, this team does not care about the meta. They don't care about your rules. Yeah. They don't care about the game that you want to play. If you're going to play basketball, they're bringing a baseball bat. Invictus, Vox, Katrina, Keys, and Luens, who we thinking?
Yeah, they were the team that I could not predict the draft. They were the most, they had no patterns in their draft. And Keys is the key person here, I feel. He's a lot better than Vox on jungle. No offense to you, Vox. And I think the key is they need to play around Keys. They need to rotate with him, get these ganks off, and not get rotated on. Like, just basically anticipate the enemy opponent's movement. Assassin's Crew loves to do these farm rotations, so they have to rotate 2 and 3 to counter that and then gank the other side. So, like, if they can figure that out, the macro game, they can beat Assassin's Crew.
I put my eyes on Katrina as part of that. You say they need to try and get that 2-3 rotation to pick off the isolated player, Assassin's Crew like. Sure, but if you're doing that, your mage then needs to be doubly important, and that mage play from Katrina has been very good. He consistently has been part of this team that I look to as maybe what elevates it. That needs to come out today.
All right, gentlemen. Do you have faith in Assassin's Crew, or is this the opportunity that we've all been waiting for, Synergy getting themselves together and playing the ultimate gatekeep and keeping things spicy in Latin America?
Synergy started off week 1. Assassin's Crew week 1. So I think Assassin's Crew will take it 2-0.
I'm 80% sure he just signaled a flight to land.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know.
I'm a man that bets on trajectory, and based on Assassin's Crew trajectory, they're on the up and up, and their synergy is getting better and better every week, and synergy is not.
All right.
I think I have to agree. I mean, Synergy have won 1 game. But that 1 game was versus Geo Esports, so who knows?
There's a small
But
light.
it's like a pen light, you know? on the end of the pens, and it's not going to work. No, it will be Synergy getting 2-0'd.
All right, well, as the saying goes, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. But the question is, will it be the members of Synergy that will actually put that light out? Tweet us your thoughts. Head over to Twitter. Use the hashtag Valor Series and let us know everything that you have to say about Week 7 and the viability of Assassin's Crew's Light and whether or not it will actually continue to shine. We find ourselves at the pick ban phase very shortly. We have seen slight adjustments with the new patch over in Latin America. Are we going to see any more?
Roxy. Where's my Roxy, guys? Come on, Latin America. Step it up. We're going to see Roxy and NA potentially here, but no Latin America. They're like halfway through, and then they start learning. They watch NA and they're like, okay, cool, we'll play Roxy now. So I'm waiting for the Roxy to come out.
Roxy's been played 4 times in the Valor series for Latin America. How many times has she won?
No, not Latin America.
Latin America, she's been played 4 times.
0.
Oh, but that's because she wasn't buffed. She's buffed now. She was
good. Strong at the beginning of the season, Sweet J, but it doesn't matter because she still didn't win.
I actually really I think, don't get me wrong, Roxy was buffed. I think overall she's a stronger character. We've had this discussion backstage. I don't think she's nearly as strong as Sui keeps harping on about.
No one believed in my Crickneck, and what? Crickneck's banned all the time and first picked all the time.
Yeah,
because there was a
called
patch.
It, guys. Check my Twitter timeline.
If I might remind the audience as well, there was that opportunity where Sweetie was like, guys, Lindis is really good. She's going to continue to get strong. And then we had Sweetie go in the corner and go, nah, Lindis is terrible. What did I hear when we were talking earlier this morning? Guys, I don't know if you know this, but Lindis is really good.
I don't know if you know, but there was a patch, an update that changed everything.
And Lindis is still strong.
No, Lindis
She is.
buffed.
The only reason why she's strong because she can rotate fast through jungle. That's why when the marksman jungle has fell off because of this patch, Lindis is still viable because of her speedy rotations and her ability to come out the bush, getting 2 shots, and her ultimate gives another shot. It's all about rotation clear, and that's why Lindis is still very viable in jungle as a marksman.
All right, well, guys, we're going to be getting into pick ban phase very shortly. We are having a slight connectivity issue with one of the players. Once that gets settled, we will get things started shortly. We just want to make sure to keep sure that the competitive integrity of the match is, of course, great. Everybody needs to be connected, despite it being mobile. Now, I want to talk about pick priority. When we look at what we've seen in the draft phases thus far, while Ebeneth essentially still finds himself at a strong point in the meta, has fallen in both regions already as a first pick priority. Why might that be the case?
Yeah, he just shines when your team plays with his style because he's very immobile. He does have mobility. His ultimate puts him in one position, and he has to land it. Also, his branching out, if he can clap an entire team, you win the fight, but normally they split focus, and Ibeneth is not good in a duel 1v1. He just doesn't excel. He excels in team fights, and I think that's the key with how teams are not leveraging him properly, and that's why Ibeneth is losing more often than he's winning.
All right, so now I do have to ask you, and I don't mean to cut you off, but we do have a nice little fun is a great word, update for what we have for this match specifically.
Okay.
Now, Mana Freeze, who we saw on Assassin's Crew, coming out. Linked D's coming in.
Wow.
What does that change?
Man, Mano Freeze, his net, probably the best in Latin America. Hurricane walls were just on point. So, like,
is this the moment?
Is this the moment?
Is this the beginning that we were all waiting to see?
Once again,
draft Roxy.
The entire finalists for the Latin American region rest on this game. If Synergy are able to pull out an upset, everything is still up in the air.
Everything is in the cards. Synergy now can play Gatekeeper despite having only 1 win in the regular season. They can find themselves with 2 here and force Assassin's Crew into very difficult waters.
Man, they really like that Malik. And Malik has not been winning, actually.
Yeah, we looked at the stats earlier. He's he's slightly above 50%. I think, though, it's because he's so strong in the early game, and so many of these Latin American teams put a lot of emphasis on the early game.
Yeah, one thing too, Synergy's got big. They tend to die a lot. Their KDA as a team is 1.7. Assassin's Crew is sitting at a okay 2.55. So Assassin's Crew will be the more aggressive team. Crickneck being banned, I love that because Assassin's Crew, they run the double Assassin Zuka Crickneck comp so well. So very smart that a Crickneck ban did come out here.
Here comes the rest of the draft. Ibeneth, Crickneck, the 2 OP characters removed. Sui shouts Arm through his coffee. It'll be Chokdar instead.
You're gonna give Aurum over. But wait, it's Link though. I've never seen Link play Aurum. But that's dangerous. Aurum is just so good.
Well, let's talk about what wasn't banned. We still have... Do you think we see our new boy here?
We could see...
Do you think this is Ignis?
Ignis?
Instead, it's Violet. Okay, one of the characters
God.
we haven't seen today, what we touched on in the beginning, one of the things that's been really popular in Thailand is Alice Telenas in side play.
Right, yeah, because of the magic damage. Eagle Eye has got a nice buff. It does that magic damage. And guess what, guys? Magic damage can crit. That's why they build crit on her, and then the magic crits, they hurt.
So, even if they don't pick up Telenas, the fact that they could run a magic damage Valheim into Alice actually does open things up.
Yeah, if they get Ignis here, Synergies has got a solid draft. And I think that was a mispick. They did not pick the Zephyrs there. Roxy! Ignis. If they pick Ignis, they win. Okay, never mind. But Roxy's good. I like the Roxy. Roxy with Alice, that's dangerous. Because Roxy does so much magic damage with her Wildfire. That's going to work so well.
Clean up on aisle 12. We just saw a coffee spill coming out of Suijay here. The second the Roxy comes up, it was all the action all the time. And now also, we get exactly what TJ has been expecting to see throughout the entirety. The strength of the Lindis, but more in fact, we've got the Ignis to
Why
match.
Xanis? I don't understand that pick.
Okay, let me explain. I understand the pick, Sui. I see. Yes! As Car comes through, the day of reckoning has arrived.
Okay, he did get buff. His Sand Trap lasts a little longer. He can stack a few more. The Petrified lasts for 1.2 seconds, so it's a nice CC, but you got a combo. You got to land your abilities, and Ignis is like a better Azenkar, honestly.
Yes.
Honestly.
I, however, think that Azenkar plays very well with this setup. I was actually... I could have done a Sui and just shouted Azenkar, and then I would look so smart. Here's what Synergy are trying to do, and remember, this is a team that historically do really weird things and it works out. Because they have the Azenkar, because they have the Alice, they have two big AoE magic damage characters. I saw that look. You figured it out too. If they can combo the Alice with the Azenkar, players are going to be locked down on top of the Hissy Fit, on top of the Azenkar ultimate, and it's going to be so difficult to get out. Then you have the Xanis who can run backline interference and the Roxy who can zone out dive.
But it seems as if Synergy needs to do everything that goes in line with their name and synergize for these combinations to work. The biggest criticism, Suijay, that you've had for them has been their lack of ability to do so. Does this draft potentially give them an opportunity more in line? Does this give them a forced opportunity to have this as a result?
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to Ignis versus Azenkar because they both excel when they start stacking their passives. Ignis is Sacred Flame and Azenkar's Sand Trap. But one thing Azenkar has over Ignis is he does have a Petrified and he does have a knockup with a Sand Punch. So he does have some more CC than Ignis does, but Ignis has more burst. He has the Fire Crash that can basically activate and get a quick instant refresh on the cooldown when he activates and lands an ability with Sacred Flame being activated. So it's going to come down to how both teams play around their mages here, because lots of AoE burst damage.
You'll have to forgive us both, because we were just pulling up our notes on Azenkar. This is the first Azenkar Valor series, and I can't wait.
It's going to be a barn burner, ladies and gentlemen. With every new patch comes all new information, but more importantly, all new heroes to grace the Antares battlefield. We have seen just that, as now Synergy have themselves an opportunity to play Gatekeeper and go up against Assassin's Crew.
And they're staying so clumped. This is going to be a 5-man engage against the jungle. I don't know. All right, sure. Start me off excited. Sage Golem will be knocked very low. That's going to be picked up for Synergy. They get the steal. The Ignis of E-Buddy, though, is doing a lot of damage, but they're knocked back. The stuns work so well. Synergy already have zones, Sui.
Yeah, they have done a good job with that aggressive invade there. And what they need to do now is continue to rotate their jungle faster than Assassin's Crew so they can get a head start on the ganking here, because whoever initiates first and ganks first is what we're going to win. And they need to get Luna's to level 4 as soon as possible. Okay, this is what makes Ignis so good, TJ. He has so much sustain. When he lands his Sacred Flame, he has a nice heal. 120 HP gets healed up. He gets a barrier on top of that. So it's actually really hard for any mage to out-sustain him and out-trade him in the lane there.
Okay. But here's where the brilliance of the Synergy composition comes through, and here's where Vox comes through. he on the Xanis has the burst damage to melt down E-Buddy if he can get to him, and he has the speed to get in or get away afterwards.
Yeah, and Xanis also has an ability that removes any type of CC and crowd control effects on him, so he's allowed to jump in there and do a lot of damage. And look at that heal from Ignis there, E-Buddy, just healing up full health.
Full HP. And then Victus and Katrina will hang out in the mid lane. You can see already Synergy are looking for a zone around this first Abyssal. That's why Invictus was leaning so far forward. Fran on the Lindis, though. We talked about it. This is a player to watch. Here's the Abyssal Dragon up for grabs. Assassin's Crew will
they have
go
to
through. Contest
it some way here, but they're not going to be able to contest it. And Vox is here. He has 2 buffs. Go!
Yeah, there it is.
No.
Fran picks it up. Vox now will go in. That's a hard commit. They immediately are annihilated by the Holy Embers. Katrina cannot find anything. Linked dives deep into the backlines of the Irie and executes Katrina.
That was such a good engage there. He activated Bloodworm, went right in there as Xanis, used Dragon's Wrath, knocked some people up, but the team was not with him. You need to follow up with him. Vox had such a good engage. Unfortunately, didn't work out for Synergy.
Assassin's Crew are with Keys. Unfortunately for him, he was trying to find some split lane during that time and will not get anything. Vox was also separate from that fight, spending his time farming up.
Yeah, how is Synergy going to come back here? They have to really live. And look at that. Look at the CC. Oh my god. Rain of Fire.
Invictus, you are so low. There is no way to get back from that. Now the pressure will come through, though, and they do land the Sand Punch. There's the stun. That's the combo I was talking about. Synergy finds so much value, but Fran's coming in on the flank. There's the stun. The Irie Ryu. It works so well. However, Roxy does land the Agnes Grasp. Drag Fran underneath the tower and knock him low. That means Synergy survive with a roughly even trade.
Yeah, Key's positioning was so interesting on that Valheim there. I don't know why he did that. And look at that combo there. 2 Fire Crashes just got activated. That's what makes Ignis so powerful.
Vox in trouble in the jungle. Flex will grab him, and that cannot happen.
Flex is jungling right now instead of side lane. So interesting, the lineup. And Linked is playing Irie, and then support is going to be Max there when he normally plays side lane on that Crash or Zenio usually.
Flex will be pushing mid on this jungle character. The Zephyrs definitely does a decent amount of tower damage, so they'll force a strong defense to come through, and Fran in the meantime is finding a ton of damage in the side lane. That works very, very well because the tower should go down soon. Linked as well grabs the top laner.
Yeah, and look at how fast they're taking this Abyssal Dragon. Just perfect aggression, the timing. Assassin's Crew playing their macro game so well. And like I said, that's what they need to work on the most in the beginning, first 3 weeks of the Valor series. And their macro game has improved so immensely. They have gotten the dragon on timer.
Here's Invictus trying to defend this tower. I don't think they could do it. The Rain of Fire, the Holy Embers come through. It's perfectly timed. Invictus is gone. The Hissy Fit, though, did land. And Luans is able to push forward and find the kill. This tower is still up, but it does not matter. E-Buddy just melts them.
E-Buddy is a god on this Ignis. Linked is going to have to back away here. Level 5 versus level 7. Key's able to push him out, but Ignis, again, that combo. The Fire Crash, followed by the Rain of Fire, then Holy Embers. And guess what? The Fire Crash then gets off cooldown because he activated Sacred Flame. Another Fire Crash comes out. You get stunned for 1 second if Rain of Fire is able to hit constantly and activate Sacred Flame. And this what makes Ignis so powerful. Stun, slow, and a potential stun again. Look at that right there.
Oh, E-Buddy opens up so well. Keys may have the hold, but he just doesn't scale the damage. He just has to run.
Yeah, he does. And Fran is rotating just in time here. Look at this. 5-man rotation to top. This is Synergy's chance here. They need to take mid-tower. They need to push mid-tower and trade towers at this point, because that's a lot of people in top lane.
There is no way to stop this push, I don't think. It does look like Synergy agree. They'll find the pressure you're asking for in the middle lane during this time.
And there we go. They're going to trade tower. They're about 4K gold, 4,500 gold behind. They can't lose a tier 2 tower, though. That's a little risky. And Vox,
this could be devastating.
Can he clear that wave? He cannot.
Vox and Katrina are the only 2 contests that stand. Oh, This Sandwraith goes wide as well. He misses everything. There's a tier 2 challenge in mid. Invictus, though, is in a lot of trouble. Katrina's already down. That is so much damage. Vox, you're snared. You're gone. And Assassin's Crew have all but wiped Synergy. This could be a very quick game indeed.
Oh my goodness. Lunas, where are you? Roxy, we need you. Save the day. There's a wave coming. And this could be the end of the game.
6 minutes in, here comes Luans. He needs to defend. He needs to clear a wave. Katrina has respawned. It is here. There's the Sand Punch. Maxine very low. Tagged by the Sand Wraith. Will surely go down, but manages to survive. Not even the hissy fit is there. Synergy hold on, but their core is threatened. It's 6 minutes.
That is insane, the amount of pressure from Assassin's Crew. And again, you have to fight back together. Lunas, what were you doing? There's a 3 to 4 man rotation on top lane. You need to rotate 3 versus 4. That's how you defend a tower. If you have 2 versus 4, it's not going to work. Every time a team sieges tower, if it's 2, you need 1. If it's 3, you need 2. If it's 4, you need 3 to defend tower because you cut the tower as an extra body to save and counter, engage, or defend.
What if you set nobody to defend the tower?
Then you're going to lose.
How does that go?
That's what exactly happened, unfortunately. But they got to work with Lunas here. They got to work with Roxy. That ultimate, if she gets like Agony Grasp on anyone, they're dead. They're dead because as soon as she lands Agony Grasp, the buff to her is it refreshes both of her abilities.
Maxine will be hovering nearby as well. Here's the Spirit Sentinel. Assassin's Crew would like it, so they'll take it, and they'll take Vox's life as well.
Bye-bye, Vox. Disappears just like that.
And actually, there may be more trouble on the horizon. Katrina's Sandwraith did absolutely nothing, and Invictus misses his stun. That should be Katrina called out, and it is. Flex comes through. Maxine now on the front lines as well with the arm. They melt another. This could be game. This should be game. It is only Invictus to defend on Synergy, and he too. Oh, he survives. 1 HP. Silly, there's a chance.
There might be a chance, but
10 seconds. Actually, the respawn's all coming through.
That lack of synergy, just the way that their team fight, they're dominating 1 at a time, and I don't know why Keys is jumping in 1 versus 3. You're Valheim, buddy. I mean, I know you're trying to get close and use your ultimate to basically maximize your damage, but once your team members die, you gotta back off, and they gotta just fight together. Valheim has so much CC because he has the attack speed from Blitzblade and the War Boots there. And he just needs to get Hyugo's Edge or Frost Cape at this point, but they're so behind at this point.
Well, here's the final stand. Synergy again play aggressive. Again, it does not go well. Keys obliterated by the dive coming in from Flex.
I commentated and complimented his jungle, but I'm not sure about his side lane Valheim.
Well, here comes the Drake. It'll be pressing against these mid-lane towers. Sandwraith does come through. Combo with the Hissy Fit works very well. Maxine's knocked down to half HP, but the Drake removes the tower. And now Flex goes in. That will be Vox gone. Invictus barely alive, and this should be a high ground under threat.
Yeah, back up. They're not going to be able to kill that Drake fast enough. This could be the game, TJ.
Q's is just respawned. That's the second high ground down. This will be the push. Assassin's Crew dive in. Link doesn't find value. Maybe a good start. A Sand Punch clears wave. They do not have minions, and they have a Hissy Fit to push people back. But here come the minions from mid. And Synergy need to win this fight, and they need to do it now. Maxine will land the snare. That should be it as Flex goes in with the death throw above. The core is at less than half HP, less than a quarter. And Assassin's Crew do take game 1.
Assassin's Crew needed to step up and show out, and they did just that in game number 1 as they walk away with the victory over Synergy Esports. Now, to keep things in line with Sao Paulo in the regional finals, Assassin's Crew has to win this game to clinch 4th place. If they lose, there is still tiebreaker options available for INTZ, despite who they have to play in week number 8, but it is possible. Assassin's Crew, though, they did walk away with the game 1.
I mean, they just almost finished the game in 6 minutes, and they just finished under 10 minutes. Assassin's Crew looks great right now. Their 4-man rotation, their macro game, rotating the dragon, winning the dragon side of the map, and then taking dragon as soon as it spawns. That just tells you they know they're in sync, and that is paying off for them so well and catching off Synergy every single time.
I've been waiting for that for a while. Synergy run a really, really clever, weird, oddball team comp, and somebody explains to them why it's an oddball team comp. And that was very satisfying, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, the Azenka Alice duo looked great for like the 2 times that they landed the ability together, and I'd be really genuinely interested to see that composition out ahead, but they were never out ahead.
All right, so now taking a look at things, we've got our AT&T replay specific.
Thanks, Jump.
You're welcome. Thank you. I wanted to give you some expert analysis. No, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about this because, guys, this was a lot to take in.
You can see Keys was out of position. They're both out of position. They get killed there, and this completely turns it around. That's when they get the objective there. And look at these kills. The aggressiveness from Fran on this Lindis is just insane. And then Fox also found, look at that beautiful snare from Max as well. It just worked out really well for them, subbing in Linked here.
Yeah, and Maxine was a star player for me, constantly finding that pressure on this Aram. Just every single team fight in the backlines, finding snares, finding value, and being a tank for a little bit of a switch up to their standard roles. It worked pretty well.
That's why you don't give a team Aram. That's why she's banned all the time.
You're still a little bit upset about that. I liked the draft of Azenka. I thought it was a great idea.
I mean, it worked. They did have one combo. It worked.
Yeah.
Right? They comboed the Sand Ray, the Sand Punch, the Dust Devil, and boom! Explosions happened. People got petrified. They won that fight. But then another
6
combo
minutes later, their core
again.
broke. So, you know.
All right, gentlemen.
Not great.
We are finding ourselves now getting started with the big ban phase for game number 2. If Synergy wants to play Gatekeep, how do they change their draft?
Don't give Ignis over, and don't give Arm. Come on, those 2 heroes are so strong in the meta. Don't hand them over. And if you want to play Roxy, play her right with your team. Get an Agony Grass, and all 5 people focus the person that just got pulled there because there's so much damage coming up from Roxy. Just play together. They're domino effecting, and just death after death after death. This is why I mentioned their KDA, 1.70. It's going to decrease more now because they're constantly just dying more than getting kills. They need a positive kill to death ratio.
What he said.
Your expert and astute observations are phenomenal. As yes, we find ourselves now in the pick ban phase for game number 2, Synergy Esports versus Assassin's Crew. Now, as we are blazing through this pick ban phase, I want to touch upon that specifically. We mentioned it in Europe, but I want to hear your thoughts on it, Sweet J. Now, with essentially the pick ban phase and your timer being cut in half in the amount of time that you have to select a hero, what does that change in strategy?
Yeah, I think that you can see that people are not making decisions fast enough. They're letting the system pick for them. That's why we see Zephy, Xanish showing up. You gotta make your decisions fast. You gotta write these drafts out. You gotta understand what's meta. And how I do it, it's really easy. You just write the top 3 heroes in every position. Solo lane, dragon lane, right? Jungle, mid, support, and you know exactly who to pick based on who's available. Okay, guys? Great master tip from the master drafter here.
You know the draft come out, it's going to be Coach Sui's favorites. Ibanez Crickback banned out instantly.
Ignis!
The arm is removed as well, however...
Grab that Ignis!
Oh, he's so angry with you.
Today is the day of angry Suijay. It is, I don't know what it is, I don't know where it came from.
Coffee. I don't know what's in the coffee, but it is definitely, like, anger.
It's the wizard, Ignis!
Is he casting a spell on you?
Yes, he is.
Well, nobody's drafted him second run
I do like Irie, though. Flex is a great assassin. He's very aggressive. And you're giving Fred Lindis...
No, you're not, because they're going to look at Nakroth.
What is going on?
I like Nakroth. Nakroth was run very well in the RPL. He's a very, very good character. But the Arduin comes through as the second pick.
Why Arduin? Ignis! You're going to give Ignis to E-Buddy? You just saw him destroy you with Ignis last game. Okay, I do like the Omen pick. If they get Omen with a Roxy, they can lock one person out, kill that person, and Omen can then lock the next person and get a second kill. It could work here. That's actually a very strong comp. Pyrrha being picked up. We know Pyrrha is such a good counter to Omen because if Omen wants to lock that person down, Pyrrha's going to give that Nature's Rally. But she did get nerfed. Nature's Rally does not give as much armor.
If Synergy get the Annette Ignis duo as their final pick,
Ignis!
Oh, it's even better.
Do you not play Ignis? Oh my god.
All right, well, we've got a Kali and we've got a Amelie as well. So
Amelie is being picked in the GCS, Chinese Taipei meta. She does work and has won dual lane against some pretty strong heroes in the meta. So it depends on how well you play. But Synergy, just surprising into letting us. Every draft they do has been completely unpredictable, pretty much. But it's exciting. The key is
I don't want to take notes.
They have to work together. But the thing about drafting so many different comps every single time is you don't have an identity. You need a team identity. And that's should be Synergy is your identity. And you got to play with Synergy.
All right, so let's talk about that team identity. We can see the draft: Annette, Nekroth, Omen, Kali, and Amelie. How is this going to work? How is this going to defeat the Assassin's Crew history?
It's not. Second of all, here is the theory. If you start off with your side lane Omen Amelie, you have good individual lane pressure. That will allow them to gain a lot of control early, especially if they can duo that Annette with the Kali during team fights. They have a chance. The problem is they don't have anyone who can play tag. Literally none of them can take damage. They are all skinny.
Omen can Death Embrace somebody, and then Hurricane Wall just comes out and pushes the whole team away, and you kill the person, get stuck in Omen out. Synergy, you just won the game. Thank you very much.
All right, well, we are going to have to look, see, and hope and pray if you're Synergy at this point in time.
Why'd they pick Pura? I missed all that.
Yeah, Pura, we just talked about it. Pura got nerfed. She's still strong, but she did get nerfed. Healing Light actually does less percentage here now. It's not 10% anymore. Her lost HP is 7%. But the base heal is very strong, so her early game is even stronger because of her nerf/buff.
But she does
late
fall
game,
off.
she's not as good.
She does fall off, and I think that is a direct hit to kind of the death ball composition that we saw as a Rise as well. Doesn't scale as well, doesn't find itself, and as successful of opportunities. But guys, now is the time to hope. Now is the time to pray. But more importantly, now is the time to execute. If you're Synergy Esports and you want to be the gatekeeper for Assassin's Crew and their hopes of making it to the regional finals.
My note cards are everywhere.
They are. I'm not reading them. Tell Honest, AoE ally, damage buff. I like your notes. Your handwriting is beautiful, too.
That's not true. Assassin's Crew will find already a spread out defensive look. They're not worried about this game at all. The only aggression they're offering is actually their Pura leaning into the enemy jungle.
Yeah, I do want to talk about Emily here. She did get a nice buff. Her combos have shorter cooldowns, a little bit more damage because of the cooldowns there. Clickbait is the key there. They want to use that with the combo where they can knock the person up in the air and empowers the next attack to do extra 80 damage. So if you put a lot of damage on her, she can literally solo someone quickly. But her weakness is if you're not by yourself, then her passive duo doesn't shine. Basically, duo amplifies damage, 50% additional damage to that target. But if there's other teammates with you,
she's kind of in an interesting situation where all of her abilities are AoE, but if she hits a second target with any of her abilities, including minions, then she does so much less damage.
So you have to fight her with minions there, and that's the key to counter Emily. But you fight her by yourself, you're asking to lose. Look at this, Max is getting so low. Where's the follow?
Keys comes through.
What are you doing?
They completely leave Maxide alone.
There
that is a rough start. Assassin's Crew start, shaky.
Yeah, shaky, but Synergy was shaky too. Invictus, he got the knockup. Keys got the knockup on to Maxi, and Invictus wasn't moving forward. He was kind of standing in there, just move forward through the trap and help follow up and do auto attacks. Especially in early game, every auto attack matters.
Here is this first Abyssal Dragon. Both teams need to start positioning around it. Synergy are doing so. Assassin's Crew playing a little bit more aggressive around it.
They have to contest this. Don't give up that Abyssal Dragon to Assassin's Crew.
E-Buddy's able to zone. He's got that mark. There will be no steal. Synergy don't even contest.
The dragon is right there, and you're going after the baby dragon. You got to go after the big guy. He's going to give you a lot more benefits to your team here. And as a result, because they did that, he could have went in there, knocked him up, punish, take the dragon, and then get the kill. And then they would have been their game.
May be in trouble. Keys comes through as well. Invictus and the rest of Synergy pushing forward to scare E-Buddy back. And I think that needs to be a focus for them. Shutting down E-Buddy, shutting down Maxide at the start of these fights.
Exactly. I love what you said there. Late game, they have to kill E-Buddy because he has so much CC, so much slow, and he does all the AoE damage.
Oh, Fran comes through.
Oh my god.
Vox will go down. That was such a great little duo.
Yeah, don't stand next to an Irie when she's level 4 or higher. She's going to stun you right off the bat, and that's exactly what happened. And it got rotated on. Again, the rotations are key. Macro game from Dash2 looking great.
Invictus tries to hold the tower. He'll spend that Hurricane Wall kind of after everyone left. And then Luans just comes through, spends the old Ethereal Pulse, but there's already Holy Embers there. He's in a lot of trouble. Nature's Rally stuns up Keys. He cannot get out in time, and Fran will find the kill. And now Fran's going to camp this bush, able to gain vision and control of Wave. This means this tower is likely gone.
Yeah, but Invictus doing a really good job with the wind cuffs and the damage AoE there to clean the wave. However, he's in big trouble.
Invictus will play back. The stuns coming his way. And there's the Rain of Fire. He's stunned up, and the Holy Embers are there for the punish. Fox, though, does find the trait. That's what we've been asking them to do, and he just walks up, grabs an unprotected E-Buddy.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to use Death's Embrace there. He had his chain there, can pull him back and kill him.
Yeah, the Death's Beacon was just
Death's
there.
Beacon was there for sure, and kind of wasted the ultimate there. He could have used the ultimate to then flicker. Wait, actually, flicker's not up, but he could have used that ultimate to secure another kill, and that would have been plays for days there. But Vox gonna continue to farm there, because honestly, he should win the side lane against an Ari 1 vs 1 as Omen.
I like that. Plays for days.
Exactly. Plays for days. That's how you get back into the game. You gotta make plays.
Is that your motto?
Gotta make plays, because they're not that behind. Synergy has a chance to get back in. They're not that behind. They have to just follow up with the knockup from Keys, the knockup from Katrina as well on this Emily here, and also the CC from Omen.
Well, here's the next Abyssal. Invictus already playing aggressive around it. Do look for a zone. Luans, I believe, started the Grievance. Might have been stunned out of it. Now Katrina tries to go in, but already the Nature's Rally causes so much trouble. Luans with his Ethereal Pulse finds almost nothing. They do find some response, shutting down Maxine, but that will be all. The Pura, the only one to fall, as Synergy are slaughtered on the point.
Yeah, I see what they're trying to do though, but the Hurricane Wall did a good job of separating everyone. However, you're focusing the Pura. You just gave them 2 dragons and everyone dived on the Pura, when as the Cross, your focus is not the tank. You want to get on Fran. Fran is much squishier than Pura. Pura already has some armor and some health and everything, so that was very interesting focus there by Synergy. Very bad decision, I feel, to focus the Pura.
I want the internet to have a picture of the sassy head movements coming through from Suijay right now.
Sometimes I question focus, that's all, that's all. Can they clear this fast enough?
Oh, look at how little damage the Ethereal Pulse is doing.
Not enough damage. Look at it. Only has Gilded Greaves and a Phoenix Tear. That's not enough magic damage.
No, and it is showing. Keys will try and grab E-Buddy again. E-Buddy laughs and backs up.
I don't like getting Gilded Greaves first on Kali. You want to get Orb or Magi, because the longer the game goes, the more ability power you build over time, and then that's when she starts scaling really well. And you know, she does so much more damage when she has a lot more ability power.
Keys will rotate down bottom to challenge Flax. All of Synergy are here to secure this Might Golem. And it turns out that's enough. They'll get it, scaring Assassin's Crew back. Assassin's Crew, meanwhile, did pick up a tower up in the top lane, and they'll rotate through to challenge mid as well.
Yeah, they will, and can Synergy do it? They're 4K gold. Keys, goodbye. You're going to fall again to Linked. That's the second time he's fallen to this Ari. And his gold, he's so behind right now. It's not looking good. 2.6K gold compared to 5K gold on Fran. Ouch. That's not what you want for an Assassin comp.
Another tower falls, this time in mid. Invictus wastes his ultimate and just needs to keep kiting. They don't have a wave for a moment in mid, but that's not the same for other lanes. And the rotate can shift down to the bottom lane now, and that should be a free tower.
Yeah, look at this nice tight rotation by Assassin, cutting the wave like the experts they are, and taking a tower easily. Keys, gotta be careful there. Oh my
goodness. That was so well synced. Now they go for the tower. This tower itself will be easy to grab if the Nature's Rally works. There will be an Ethereal Pulse doing almost nothing. Maxine doesn't quite go down, but the tower does.
Yeah, and look at them staying on top of Max there, getting the maximum heal that they can from the Healing Light. But nice engage there, distracting. Link did such a good job distracting Luans to waste his ultimate on Irie instead of clearing that wave, and as a result, they took that high ground tower, and it's only 7:30 in the game right now.
Assassin's Crew aren't just in the driver's seat, they're in a separate car.
Yeah, can Synergy even see the dust that Assassin's Crew is leaving behind them there? They're so ahead right now.
E-Buddy 1v3! Holy Light comes through, and E-Buddy decimates a 3-man gank attempt! Assassin's Crew are in complete control in a way that cannot be described. Now they go for this final high ground in the mid lane. They'll pick it up. Vox is in trouble. There is no way to stop this rush. The core should be threatened, and there it is, 2-0 Assassin's Crew. They're going to Sao Paulo.
That's what you get for not picking Ignis.
On today's lesson of the Valor series brought to you by Facebook Gaming, we find ourselves in the school of Suijay. And when Suijay tells you to pick something, you pick something, or if not, bad things are going to happen. Welcome back to the desk. We found ourselves with a Game 2 resulting in a Synergy Esports defeat on the backs of none other than Assassin's Crew doing what they do best, and that's picking Ignis.
Yeah, again, Synergy early game is not bad, actually. They do well in all the games I've watched them. They just have to fix their focus and also their mid and late game. But where they fell behind was they focused max on Pyrrha, and that's when they lost the Dragon, and then boom, they fell so behind from there. And the key is they have to understand the meta. I mean, giving Ignis over, you saw eBuddy, their MVP, getting the 3 versus 1. This is why Ignis is so good.
5, 1, and 5. 33% of the team's damage. Fran picking up the other 30%. That was a devastating performance from eBuddy, but I'd just like to highlight that one moment towards the end of the game, actually the end of the game, when 3 members of Synergy thought maybe they could hold a candle to the Fire Mage himself and were taught otherwise.
They were literally burned aflame.
Well, in spite and in lieu of this fiery feat, we want to go ahead and take a look at our AT&T replay of the game, which is just that moment that he's talking about, where Synergy Esports says, hey, we can get it, we can do it, but eBuddy telling you, no, go back to the gray screen and enjoy the moment of rest for your thumbs as he's walking away with victory after victory for himself and his team.
And the key is always in the passive there, like Linda's passive and Ignis passive. It's Sacred Flame gives him a heal, gives him a barrier when he lands all his abilities. It refreshes Fire Crash immediately, and then also if you hit Sacred Flame with Rain of Fire, it stuns the target for a second, and then what? You cast Holy Embers, and boom, so much AoE damage. And his abilities also have a bigger AoE range as well. That's why he's so good, and you cannot dive him like that all on top of each other. And you can see why Ignis is literally the man.
All right.
I said it during the EU block. Welcome to the Ignis meta. I hope you enjoy your stay here.
Well, just in, keeping ourselves consistent, it is going to be an Ignis player that will walk away with MVP of the Latin American region, and it's someone that has found himself in the MVP slot multiple times. It's going to be eBuddy.
Yeah, eBuddy did such a good job just positioning, landing his abilities multiple. He understands the limits of his hero, and he comboed it so well. The stuns, the slows, the reactivation of Fire Crash. And that's the key of Ignis. If he doesn't land Sacred Flame and get the mark of the flame on his opponents, then Ignis is actually a lot weaker. So that's why you need to engage him first before he can land his marks. But no one's able to do that against eBuddy, and he played it so well.
eBuddy is such a terrifying, and we've seen a common thread here. Both players that have looked terrifying on Ignis play Jinnar, and I think that's maybe synced up a little bit because they're both characters that are much more focused on your own positioning. And that's all that Ignis is. It is about positioning well and then finding follow-through from that positioning.
All right, well, now we find ourselves at the end of the Latin American region where we saw 2 best-of-2s of nothing short than action-packed adventure. We find ourselves with Ignis and more Ignis. Thank you, beautiful men in the back, to show us that Ignis matters. Pain Gaming walks away with a 2-0 victory over INTZ. Assassin's Crew then clinches their spot in the regional finals with a 2-0 victory over Synergy Esports. That is now locked, ladies and gentlemen. The standings that you see will be the final top 4 standings for the Latin American region. Geo Esports, Nova, Pain Gaming, Assassin's Crew, 1 through 4 respectively. So with that being said, and with those being now locked, Geo Esports will play Assassin's Crew. Nova Esports will play Pain Gaming in the quarterfinals of that top 4. Let's talk a little bit about this now that we have some time.
That actually does interest me because seeding matters quite a bit. Though the top 4 are locked, the seeding isn't. And
yes,
being able to go, if you're dropped down to like a 4th place, you have to play Geo Esports Game 1. Now, Latin America is close enough. I almost think maybe that's not as big a problem because there are many teams that are, I think, kind of itching to take a crack at them.
And we have a huge game tomorrow that could have some foreshadowing for the future of the regional finals. Gentlemen, day 2, game number 1, so tomorrow afternoon, Nova Esports versus Geo Esports.
I can't wait.
Yeah, if Nova can pull it off, they can secure themselves a solid 2nd, and that's going to allow them to be in a much better position going into the final playoffs.
And we'll break this down a little bit more tomorrow, of course, once we get there. But now that we have a couple extra seconds due to the rapid success that Assassin's Creed was able to find, I've got a couple minutes on the clock. You both find themselves, as well as Kaisera, one of the casters that we have for Latin America, in a little bit of a back and forth on whether or not Nova has the capabilities of taking down Geo Esports. I want to hear your guys' opinions.
Yeah, I think the key is going to be around the macro game. Nova has showed us that they've been improving week over week. Their early game has gone a lot better, and their late game team fighting has really shined. So I think against Geo, you got to be able to shut down Angra in the side lane and then force them to respond and react to that. So you're the one leading the play instead of reacting to Geo. And I think that's the key to beat Geo because they're such a good team when it comes to side lane pressure.
I was never on the Nova Esports train. I think they're a good team, don't get me wrong. I do not think they're as good as Geo, and that's why I've kind of stuck with Pain Gaming, despite the fact that...
Sir Muster.
Yeah,
have faith in Sir Muster.
Good. Don't get me wrong, but I stick with Pain Gaming as the challengers to Nova Esports because I think they do more research and they look like a more educated team.
Let's go ahead and go one step further. We've actually got some statistics that can show what this matchup actually is with Nova versus Geo Esports. 211 to 244 team kills, Nova to Geo. But what I'm most interested in is the fact that these members of Geo Esports can end games so much quicker, almost a minute and a half ahead of their opponents.
Exactly, and that's where the early game, if you lose early game, that's where Geo just scales that early game into a huge lead where they dominate you and they finish the game so quickly. But I think Nova has improved so much, you know, Sir Muster, Shaka, you know, the positioning, they finally have landed on a more consistent role for all the members. And I think that's going to make a huge difference for Nova.
I think a big thing Nova needs to keep an eye on, like you were talking about with the game time, is they occasionally struggle to adapt to different game states. What I mean by that is there's a very specific way you play AoV when you're behind and you're trying to stall out time. There's a very specific way where you play AoV when you're far ahead and you need to shut down a game. And it feels like Nova don't have that full range of adaptation yet. If they build that up, if they show up tomorrow and they look like a better team in terms of knowing how to play all these different scenarios, I absolutely think they can take a win.
Last point, and it's the biggest point I think that I kind of want to touch upon, is the jungle and the mid with the latest balance change saw the biggest amount of shifts. Versatility and the ability to have diversity in your hero pools are ever the most important in those two lanes, I feel specifically. When you take a look at the average KDAs of every player in the Latin American region, there are only 2 that hold double digits, 15.55 and 14. Those 2 members, No Mercy and Metal respectively. That's the jungle and mid position. With the changes in the jungle and mid, with the knowledge that we have of their prowess, does that bode well for Geo Esports?
Yeah, it bodes very well. No Mercy is the best positioner in the entire game. He has elite stats and the best KDA in the entire Valor series because of how often he doesn't die and how many kills he secures. And Metal is just very consistent, and they have such great synergy together, especially on Crixie, Liliana. Any hero you put Metal on, he's able to carry and do such a great job. I can't wait to see how his Ignis is, too.
I think it is something to watch, though. No Mercy plays a ton of characters that are no longer being pushed. We saw Slims get shut down kind of brutally today. I think maybe if he doesn't feel quite comfortable, if they're not able to get the Lindis, if he's maybe forced to play a character he's not great with, things could get messy.
We're going to have to find out how messy they are, as we've already got the janitors prepared for a cleanup on aisle 12, where we will have to wait for that tomorrow, though. Don't forget, everything with the Valor series up to this point, as well as what's to come, is available for you and your viewing pleasure. That's going to be ValorSeriesEsports.com, where you have the schedules, the detail reports, the current...
Make sure you go to that site if you want to watch it on there, and also find out other information like the safer schedule, standings, and content. There's North America from yesterday. Let me see how long that is. Uno momento, perfect bird. Like I said, I'm gonna start streaming it live from now on since someone else decided to take what I was doing and make it about today, and they're not getting shut down, so I guess it's okay. There's EU, there's Latin. Oh my God, North America is way longer. North America is 2 hours and 2 minutes. Oh Lord. That would put us at what? 5:30. 7 o'clock. I kind of want to play the game already. Jimmy, you want to play a little bit? Watch that later. Like, it'd be different if I was streaming it live and whatnot, but like, I feel like I want to play the game now. And Jimmy's not here. Alright, so I'm probably going to end up streaming the North America because Jimmy sleep or something. Go ahead and do that. I'll be right back.